Hey everyone, welcome back to today's episode of YYC Business Speaks. Today we are here with Janeen with Dynamic Bookkeeping. Hey Janeen, how are ya?
Hi, Julia. Good to be here.
Yeah, good to see ya. You're looking great.
Thank you very much. Feeling
Yeah,
okay?
awesome. Let's just jump right into it if that's cool with you.
You bet.
Awesome. Tell me a bit about your business.
So my business is dynamic bookkeeping, and I got started in that. And I've been doing bookkeeping. It was a transition for me. I started out my career in legal secretarial work and started helping out the accountant in the office, and really have always loved math, and went on to work strictly in accounting. And then I had a daughter who was a competitive gymnast, and she needed a little more flexibility on pickups and drop-offs because she had a lot of training. And so my husband at the time encouraged me to start my own business and help people in the private sector versus working for a corporation. So,
That's a
yeah.
pretty great reason to start a business.
Well, and it makes it easier too, if you have a skill that is transferable from a corporate world to the private sector, and helping many types of businesses and sizes of business.
Yeah, that's true. That's awesome. That's a committed mom right there.
You betcha.
Right? I love it. Okay, so when you started your business, what did you think being successful at it was going to look like before any of it even happened? Like when you were thinking of it and inceptioning the business plan?
For me, I knew I wanted to keep busy. I mean, I wasn't a stay-at-home mom from the time she was little. I was always someone who enjoyed working, and I think she was a better and more well-adjusted child for having her mom working out of the house. But so I thought that would be a transition. I was a little nervous about that, but I really envisioned being able to keep busy, being productive, helping others in their businesses, and yet still having the time to be with Ashley and help her out in her endeavors of the competitive gymnastics.
Yeah. Okay. So then your vision of what you thought it was going to look like, and then what reality actually looked like when you built your business.
There was a lot more juggling involved than I thought there would be. When you're used to doing a very set time frame of sitting down and working, you really have to adjust because all of a sudden, well, okay, then at this particular time, I have to go and pick up my child and take her to training. And so I might have to stop, but then come back to it in the evenings. So it did take a bit of adjusting to that. You know, it's not 9 to 5 and then your day is your own. It's actually a little more, it makes you actually make efforts to shut down and take family time and work time and actually find that balance. That was a little hard at first.
Yeah. Did you find like your days would just get away on you if you didn't intentionally make sure you were working when you were working?
Absolutely. And you know, it's you know, people always say those cat videos will get you. You get onto your social media and you're just going to check in, and you're just going to check one or two little things, and all of a sudden you end up down that rabbit hole of oh, there went an hour. So yeah, it definitely did require a little more conscious effort of, okay, don't, this is, you know, set. And at first I used to set a clock, set a timer, just so that I would notice the passage of time. Because yeah, when you get into it, an hour or 2 hours can get away from you like nothing.
Yeah. I remember a couple of years ago on my phone, I actually put Facebook in a folder into another folder, so that I actually have to put the effort and consciously be like, oh wait, I'm actually going to that, as opposed to having it on my home screen.
Right.
Where I can just unconsciously click on it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
They say smart people learn from their mistakes, but wise people learn from the mistakes of others. So what's one or two mistakes that you've made along the way that other business owners can learn from?
I think for me, it was thinking I could do it all. I could take care of everything, and becoming very stressed when it couldn't happen, when I needed help and wasn't sure where to turn to or how to get that help. I had really good friends that I drew on that had small businesses, and some clients that I would ask those questions to. And really and truly, that's, I think, what I would say to anyone starting a business is ask the questions. Ask everyone you know who's got a business, who started a business, who's running a business. What do I need to do? What do I need to have in place? What did you not have in place that you would want to do now? The biggest things I would say is get an accountant and get a bookkeeper. They are different, have both. They are a huge help to you, especially if they work together. And you need both, because that takes the stresses off of you. Don't try and do it all yourself. Rely on other professionals to do those tasks and have a perfect team for yourself that's going to support you and allow you to do what it is that you started the business for.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Janine. So leading into that, for any newer business owner, like, what is the difference between bookkeeping and accounting?
So your accountant is someone that you see once a year. You might call them off and on if you've made a big purchase of assets, or are doing a loan for the company, just to ask them some questions. But for the most part, you see your accountant once a year when it's tax season. You see your bookkeeper every month, or at least every quarter. They are the person who are going to make sure that everything is entered into software. They are going to make sure that you know what your expenses are, what your profit margin is, so that you can pivot in an instant and either increase your prices, negotiate better rates on utilities or rent or phone services, so that you are maximizing your profits on a monthly, quarterly, semi-annually basis, as opposed to an annual basis. When you see your accountant go, oh boy, if I'd have known this 6 months ago, I could have increased my rates. I could have done this or that. You're also going to pay your accountant's rate to do the bookkeeping, and your bookkeeper is generally a lot cheaper than your accountant. So those kinds of things will also impact your time.
Yeah, totally. I generally get my business owners to give me their numbers month to month. So they're like,
exactly.
If they weren't already getting their numbers, they're forced to.
Well, and that's exactly it. I mean, how are you able to really make sure that you're moving forward, that you're maximizing that profit margin and your business and growing it, if you aren't sure what your numbers are?
Exactly.
You can't really make those kinds of changes without having that knowledge available to you.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most important things business owners need to know about their business.
Absolutely.
It's like, at the end of the month, if you're not making money, but you think you are, there's trouble coming around the corner, right?
Well, and and it's also something my father once said to me. If he was a butcher, and he's always said, if something mechanical or cars or whatever, he takes those to the mechanic, because that's what the mechanic does best. Perhaps he could, at that time there wasn't YouTube, but he could have found a manual. He maybe could have learned to change his oil, but it's going to take the mechanic less time, and it's what he does, and more efficient if the mechanic fixes his car and then the mechanic's wife comes to dad to buy her steaks for dinner.
Yeah.
Everybody makes a profit. Everybody has their family time still, and you've now also shared business, so you're helping the community grow as well.
Yeah, that is such a good point.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, where can people find you, Janeen?
So they can click on the QR code in to the side here. I can never remember which side. That
Other way. There you go.
Gotta love it. It's almost like looking in a mirror. And that'll take them to my website. On my website, they can book a time, and I will give them a free half-hour consultation. just to see where they're at, what they need, how I can help them out. Some people like to have that hand in the pie and make sure that they're doing some of the work. I definitely do that as well. So I work with the clients and I do that for free to figure out what's the best fit for them and what services out of what I do is the best fit for them as well. So they can definitely click on that, get to my website and book a time to come and see me and sit down with me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, good. And one last question for you.
Sure.
Tell me what's most inspiring to you today.
Most inspiring, I think, you know, the businesses that are coming out of COVID that are thriving, that have been able to pivot, that have really not given up, have done what they've had to do, put their head down, kept going, adjusted, looked for other ways to save their business, increase their business, stay focused, and also the support that other businesses have given each other, and the communities have done for the businesses in their communities. To me, that is very inspiring. It means people care for each other and for their livelihoods and the continuation of everyone.
Yeah. Wow. That's so true. Yeah. Despite all the things that have happened in the past year and a half, you really do see the different communities coming together to support each other and really grow. I love that you presented that. That is inspiring. Thanks.
It is.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks for joining us on the show, Janeen, and giving us a bit of your background, telling us about bookkeeping and how that can help other business owners. Any final words before we complete this call?
I really want to thank you for having me on today. It was wonderful to talk with you and to get a bit more information out to people. Even if they don't come to me, as long as they help their business, I'm glad to have been here.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Janeen.
You bet. Thanks, Julia.